Welcome one and welcome all to the newest Papi Answers segment. I couldn't do it in my last podcast episode, so this is a separate standalone episode of the section I do in my podcast, my Papi's Gaming Show episodes that I come out with. Trying to come out with once a week, and I wasn't able to do it in this last podcast episode, so I am doing it here. If you guys want to ask your own questions, definitely head over to the Discord, which the link will be in the description of the video, and ask your questions. Just put your questions under Papi Answers in the Discord, and I will answer them once a week. Again, usually on like the Papi's Gaming Show podcast that I come out with, but in this week, I had to do it separately. So anyways, first of all, shout out to the PokeKid01 for being a member of the channel. Thank you so much, brother. Shout out to everyone else that watches, likes the videos, subscribes, all that fun stuff. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Let's get into the questions. So the 5 questions were posted by our friend Erdrick the Luminary, formerly known as Adam West. But the first one is, do you think the Switch 2 will outsell the Switch or sell less than it? I feel like it probably won't sell as much. Only because the first one, there's probably people still going to be buying the normal Switch. Especially those that don't know or that are not following gaming that much or that don't really care. I feel like the first Switch still might get sales. And especially for like just families or I feel like the Switch 1 will still be getting sales, basically. So, at the end of the day, I think the Switch 2 will mostly be for gamers that had a Switch and want, the new games, or maybe, I don't know. Basically, I think, to answer your question in the shortest way possible, I don't think the Switch 2 will outsell the Switch. I hope it does, but I don't think it will. But I could be wrong. Who knows? Okay, number 2 question. There's a rumor that games will bump up in price this year to $80. If that happened, would you be willing to buy a brand new Switch 2, PS5, or Xbox game for $80? If it's a game I really want to play, yeah. At the end of the day, if you really think about it, it's not that much different of a price than $60 or $70. It's just $10 more. You're gonna buy it anyway. You're gonna buy the game anyway. So you might, the increase in price might have you buy less crap games. But the spike, if you want to actually buy a game, you're gonna buy it no matter what the price is. So at the end of the day, for me, it's me that somebody barely buys games anyways. It's sure, whatever. It's I'll pay $80 for it. I still want the games that I want to buy. I still want them, so I'm gonna buy them anyway. So I don't really care. Does it suck that the price increases? Yeah, but I understand why, and I also, again, don't care enough where it's oh, it's $80. No, I'm not gonna game ever again in my life. It's no, it's I was gonna buy this anyway. So yeah. Next question. Why do people say black is a color when black is the absence of color? Also, why do people associate white with being colorless when it's actually the combination of all colors? I think you have this backwards, my friend. If you've ever colored, the more color that you put into combine, the more colors that you combine, the quicker it turns all into black. So when you're coloring, we know blue and red make purple, But then if you add a third color, it starts looking more brown. And then if you add a fourth and a fifth and a sixth, it all kind of starts going into black. So the more color you add, the more it turns into black. So your question is opposite. Your thinking is opposite. Black is basically everything, all the colors combined, or many colors combined. And then white is basically the absence of all color. So, yeah. But, I mean, technically it is a color. You get black when you combine multiple colors. So that's why, you know, people call it a color. And then white, it's just another color because basically, like you said, it's the absence of color. So people refer to it as white. But it's still a color. I mean, yeah, you know. So anyway, hopefully I answered that question for you. I'm sure it was an incredibly important question. How come bad jokes are referred to as dad jokes and not mom jokes? And do you think that dads don't get enough respect from mainstream media? They are often depicted as fools in TV commercials and on sitcoms. Okay, so they're referred to as dad jokes and not mom jokes because dads are the ones that mostly joke around. You know, guys do a lot of the joking a lot of the time. So when with dads, you know, dads usually are more playful in a lot of the time, where moms are more focused on like things or tasks. Obviously that's a generalization, but it's a true one because usually guys are more, you know, lighthearted and make jokes and stuff. I'm not saying that women can't or mothers can't, but that's why I think they're associated with dads, because dads are the ones that usually have a more, like, in a conversation, are usually the ones that might say a joke or whatever. But anyways, and they're not bad jokes, okay? They're not referred to as bad jokes from my understanding, because I think they're great. Well, I do. The thing is about the mainstream media is it has completely shifted in what it portrays, from what it used to portray. So like for example, you know, today you don't really see movies or TV shows or things like that with a lot of kids, for example. There's like, usually TV shows have like one kid, or movies have one kid, if any. And so, you know, there used to be shows or movies where it was common for there to be two kids or more kids. But nowadays it's like they're shifting more towards having less and less kids. And the family dynamic has changed completely as well. So, but in the sense of families, yeah, you're right. Usually dads, or even guys in general, are seen a lot as like idiots or dumb or just don't know what they're doing, or the villain. And yeah, I do definitely have noticed that, and I don't like it. And, you know, that's why I basically don't even watch mainstream media anymore, because I just don't like it. I just don't feel like it, you know, it's not representing me at all, you know? And so why would I watch it? Like, I don't feel like it represents me in any way a lot of the time. So I'm just like, I'm not interested. So, and not that I need representation, because technically my representation is extremely rare, and I don't think I've ever seen any representation, at least from like my ethnicity or like my race, and like, but I'm okay with it. It's not like it's not a huge deal. I don't expect to be represented in that sense. But as a dad, yeah, or as a guy, yeah. And I do personally hate that, you know, we are usually represented as idiots and bad guys, or just, you know, where we used to be, you know, heroes and fun and good guys and like respected and stuff. But now there's a lot less of that, even though there still is, but again, there's a lot less of it. But yeah. And so, yeah. So anyways, I don't like that aspect, like you said, basically. Which tooth in your mouth is your favorite tooth and why? Probably this one, because I'm missing it. And the story behind it's really lame, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm just missing it because I had a root canal in that tooth, and instead of paying a lot of money, I decided to get it pulled out. So there it is. I have a missing tooth right there, and that's why. So yeah, okay, that is all the questions from this week's question asking. So hopefully I answered them. Thank you. Let me know your thoughts on the responses. And yeah, let's ask more questions, guys. Go on and ask your questions. All right, guys. Thank you so much for asking this time around. We'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you. Peace out.